Warning. This podcast is hosted by two brain-dead idiots with zero filter. Therefore, it contains language and opinions not suitable for all listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. One.
Anal.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Virtual Tavern, a podcast where we talk about all things sci-fi and fantasy.
And anal.
Welcome. Fuck you.
Yeah, you thought I was going to get that bitch in there, did you?
Welcome back to the long-awaited Fantasy Friday. We've talked about it on our Sci-Fi Sunday podcast. Obviously, it's been a while. I started my new job since I first saw you. Obviously it's been a while because I started my new job and we're figuring out our new schedules, like when is the best time to record with each other.
Yeah.
And we talked about how we're coming up with a plan, but most likely we're going to be limited to 4 episodes a month, instead of our normal like 6 or 8.
Yeah. So, be patient with us, guys. We should be getting a better idea now that, Adam is actually on like his true schedule as opposed to how they've been doing it for training. Like in the industry that we're in, your training period's always weird. It sucks. You're never
In the porn industry.
Yeah. But yeah, your training schedule is always weird. It's spaced out. It doesn't operate the same as how it is like once you actually get on the crew that you're going to be running with. So now that he's on his normal schedule, we should be able to actually like get together a little bit more often and be able to actually record.
Yeah, so be patient with us as we develop a new normal for the podcast. As I've said, even though we will be recording less mainline episodes because of our schedules and I'll have more free time and we'll be recording less episodes, I'm just going to be recording and editing more YouTube shorts. So if you like those, you'll be getting more of those. But anyway, this is Virtual Tavern, a podcast where we talk about all things high sci-fi, fuck.
Yeah, see, you got cocky. You got cocky when we did the last one. I did.
Last episode, I'm like, I've gotten this down to a fucking science. I can fucking just blurt it off like fucking Billy Mays. Hi, Billy Mays here with the fucking, the Cum Gutter 2000.
Yeah, you follow me, camera guy?
Oh, the Sham Wow guy?
Yeah.
He fucking killed a hooker, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And now people are playing ShamWow with his asshole. They're slap chopping his fucking cornhole.
Jesus Christ. He's become the cum rag.
Oh my God. Anyway. So we are talking about Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, right? We got 1 episode in, and right at the end of last episode was when Pippin, being the dumb fuck that he is, I think the only one that's likes to sabotage things more than him is fucking Frodo.
Yeah.
He grabs the Palantir and it's like hot potato. You ever seen Benchwarmers?
Yes.
When
love Benchwarmers.
One of the guys like grabs the potato, you have to let go.
Yeah. They're doing fucking training shit and they're all tossing around the hot potato to be able to get like reflexes and stuff down, and fucking Clark catches it, just hooks it out a fucking window.
Yeah, that was Pippin. He played hot potato but forgot to fucking let go. But yeah, the Palantir obviously being a tool of Sauron, it's like a two-way mirror, right? If you can see him, he can see you, right? So you revealed your position, you revealed, what Pippin was thinking, and now is the next morning. And now we'll figure out what's going on. So that's what happened last episode. But before we get into that, before we get into the meat and potatoes of why you're here, you got to eat before we get into the meat and potatoes, you got to eat your vegetables first. Well, potato is a vegetable, isn't it? Yeah, so you got to eat your... Fuck you. Anyway, before we get into that, we're going to do our house cleaning shit. Yeah. It takes about 10 minutes, so bear with us. It's not that bad. Anyway, our house cleaning shit. To top it off, our email. We have an email. It is contactvirtualtavern@gmail.com. We have not gotten any emails lately, but we would absolutely love to hear from you. We love hearing from our audience. We just did a little spiel on that on our Sci-Fi Sunday podcast.
Yep.
So if you engage with us either through email or if you leave a YouTube comment on our videos there, or on Spotify too. I forgot Spotify supports commenting now.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well.
So I see them all. Like if you leave a comment on one of our videos and you're like, you know, have something interesting to say, or if you're just giving us a compliment, I will shout you out because we love hearing that kind of praise and that fucking engagement from our community.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to actually like engage and talk with you guys, especially as you know, the podcast has grown over the last year. We're able to interact with you guys a lot more. So absolutely please reach out to us, whether it's commenting on one of the videos, on whatever it is that you guys are viewing us on, or sending us an email again at contactvirtualtavern@gmail.com.
Yes. So that being said, we have our YouTube, obviously. We're on Spotify. We're on a bunch of other podcast platforms. I don't even remember at this point. And we're also on TikTok, virtual_tavern_podcast. It's where you can find our YouTube shorts. Most of them are just like Canva, or not Canva, like Opus Clips kind of style, like re-uploads. But I do upload like the comedic one every once in a while.
Yeah.
But they're taken straight from our video podcast and everything. So it's like little bite-sized chunks to enjoy our podcast. That being said, emails. No, this is normally where I would talk about if we had a new listener from a new country, which we do not. We covered that in our Sci-Fi Sunday podcast that we got a new listener from Mexico. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and we were able to like address a couple other comments and things. So it again, you know, it's nice to be able to hear from you guys.
Yes.
It's weird recording these backwards.
I know. Back to back.
Do it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think really other than that, the only thing that's left is for our house cleaning shit would be the talking point recaps.
That was a fucking fast house cleaning shit. We're already at 6 minutes. I'm like, God damn, we fucking blew through that.
Yeah.
So to end off our house cleaning shit is our talking point recap. Now, for those of you that don't know, a talking point recap for us is an opportunity fuck me, I did it again.
You're getting too cocky. It's once you start adding speed, you fuck it up.
I know. A talking point recap for us is an opportunity to reflect on the previous segment of whatever we're covering. So, Hunter, for the last episode, which is the only episode, we got to see a drinking game between Gimli and Legolas. And obviously, Legolas won. Because I think it has something to do with like the elvish like metabolism, like they're immortal. Maybe they can process alcohol a lot easier.
Yeah.
So, and Gimli but Gimli drank more though.
I don't know. Maybe it could just be the way that it was all pictured.
Yeah. But anyway, so my talking about recap for you is, who do you think would be able to drink more in a drinking game? A dwarf or a hobbit?
Ooh. Now,
because dwarfs, obviously being big drinkers, but that's one of the hobbits' defining features is that they love ale.
That's a really tough choice. I would actually give the advantage to the hobbits.
You think so?
And here's why. Not only are they, you know, they also love their ale, they're avid drinkers. They also eat a lot more. So there's going to be more.
That's true. Yeah.
There's going to be more stuff to be able to help absorb that alcohol as opposed to the dwarves. The dwarves don't eat fucking 9 times a day.
Yeah.
So
they just eat rocks.
Yeah.
They're like minerals.
Look at this gold. So yeah, no, I would say that a hobbit would win, but it would be close.
I think so too. Yeah.
Now, speaking of the drinking game, we got to see several different, in my opinion, highly entertaining moments. We got to see the drinking game. We got to see fucking Pippin be a dipshit and touch things he's not supposed to.
Yep.
And we got to see good old Saruman the White fall. What was your most entertaining moment that happened? Like, what was your favorite entertaining moment?
In all of last segment?
Yes.
Fuck. Okay. You young rascals. You've had us carrying on and worrying about, and we find you feasting and smoking. The salted pork is particularly good.
Did you say
salted pork.
Yeah, dude, he fucking turned around so fast. Like, did you say there's salted pork?
I'm no longer angry. So that whole scene,
Okay, I like it.
fucking Gimli just comes about a 180. I'm so pissed. I'm salted pork.
I was like, ooh.
It's fucking. But that would be my that would be my absolute favorite scene in that whole last segment. I mean, there are some other comedic moments. You know, like Eowyn's fucking not stew, but her fucking giving the cup to Aragorn. He's like,
yeah, just
yeah.
Thanks.
There's the drinking game and other shit, but I think that was my favorite. So anyway, that is our talking point recap. That's our house cleaning shit. Hunter, anything else you want to talk about? How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
I didn't forget anything.
No.
I didn't forget anything. I know what the date is.
But anyway, yeah, if we don't have anything else, we will just go dig deep, balls deep into our content coverage. So last we
Spread
left
them
off,
cheeks.
obviously Pippin grabbed the Palantir, and now it's the next morning, right? It's the morning after. And drink that cucumber juice. Yes. But
It's
anyway,
like, what are you fucking laughing about?
yeah. Oh, he didn't get it. He's a little slow, guys. Anyway, Gandalf.
No, I was even when you first started laughing, you asshole. Like when I was just fucking drinking, you're just like.
That's because I said the morning after.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
see,
no.
he didn't get it, guys. Anyway, Gandalf starts talking to like the rest of the head chiefs, the head honchos of Rohan, right? You got the king of Rohan there. You've got Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and everyone. And Gandalf is saying, Pippin told me that he saw a vision of the enemy's plan. Sauron moves to strike the city of Minas Tirith. And Gandalf reassures everybody that Pippin told Sauron nothing of Frodo and the ring. He's a fool, but an honest fool as he remains.
Yeah.
But Gandalf is like trying to reason with Theoden, and this whole time he's just like, okay, I'm listening. Okay. Gondor's in trouble. Minas Tirith is going to be attacked. Why should I give a fuck?
Yeah.
That's his whole attitude is like, okay, why should we ride to the aid of those who did not come to ours? What do we owe Gondor? And this is reiterating how he felt during the Battle of Helm's Deep, right?
Yeah.
When the Battle of Helm's Deep, Aragorn says, Gondor answer. He's like, Gondor? Where's Gondor? And he's like a Richard Nixon, when the West falls down. Where's Gondor? The enemy closing around us. He fucking gets angry.
Yeah, he kind of goes like Heath Ledger fucking Joker. Oh, you gotta do that too.
But yeah, so Gandalf realizes that Theoden isn't gonna come to the aid of Minas Tirith. So he's like, they must be warned. They will be. I will ride to Minas Tirith, and I won't be going alone. For whatever fucking reason, this makes no sense. Why does Pippin need to go with fucking Gandalf to Minas Tirith?
I don't know, to be totally honest with you.
It's not like once you've touched the Palantir and you're seen by... Wait a minute. Maybe when the eye does see you, it tracks you now.
It could be. It could be that it's now following him, so they're able to keep a bead on him. So they want to like separate him from the rest of the group, so that way they don't see what happens later on in the film. Merry
says it. The enemy thinks you have the ring. You won't be safe here. You've got to get like to the front lines, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't think, maybe that's a lore thing. Like maybe once the eye sees you, like now it knows where you're at all times.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Merry and Pippin, they're walking down the hill, they're talking, and like, why'd you have to look? You always have to look. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna go down that road. But I was gonna say it's like kind of akin to somebody with like a learning disability. Like they're like compelled to fucking like touch something that they can't physically fucking stop themselves from touching something.
Their curiosity's too great, so they have to satisfy the need.
Yeah. You know. So that's the kind of route I was gonna go with. I was like, I'm trying to keep it tasteful here. Fucking.
We keep it tasteful? I straight up said anal at the start of this.
That's tasteful.
Only fish shower first.
God damn it. They go to the stables and Gandalf's getting on the horse and everything. Pippin's getting ready to leave and he's like, here. Oh, it's the last of the Longbottom leaf. I know you've run out. You smoked too much, Pippin. But we'll see each other soon. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And then Gandalf, being the asshole, doesn't even give them a chance to say goodbye to each other. He's like, all right, yeet, kicks fucking Shadowfox. Let's get out of here. Yo.
Yeah. And honestly, I wonder if it's because he's now Gandalf the White. Because Gandalf, to me, when he's white versus gray, like there's a...
Yes, what? Oh my god, I'm autistic.
his personality is very different. Like, Gandalf the Grey comes off in more of like a friendly manner. Meanwhile,
yeah,
the Supreme White version,
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like he's more like goal driven. Like all he wants to do is just get shit fucking handled.
Well, Gandalf the Grey is a lot, and I like Gandalf the Grey a lot more than Gandalf the White, simply because Gandalf the Grey is more humble, he's more heartfelt, he's more warm as a person, he's more gentle, he's more wise and humble. Whereas Gandalf the White, he has his moments like that, but he's more like on business, all right? Like he has a task, he needs to accomplish it. He's incredibly goal driven. Excuse me. And there's very few times where that old Gandalf the Grey personality comes back.
Yeah, which honestly, like when you compare Gandalf to Saruman, like there's a lot of similarities with how they handle themselves as the white version of them. Like, Saruman also didn't have that like that friendlier side. Obviously, he was fucking evil too, but he was more focused on the task at hand than like anything else.
So there's a scene where Merry races up to like the nearest watchtower, right, to like get a look at Pippin as he's leaving. And there's this one poor fucking guard. He's just constantly like, fuck, shit. Everyone's trying to throw me around. Fucking, there's a hobbit and then Aragorn comes through.
Yeah.
He's like getting thrown around like a rag doll. And I believe this is an extended scene right here where Merry is talking about how their whole lives they've been together. They've never really spent any time apart ever since they were twins. And now they're like living their separate lives. And now he's worried that he's going to get himself into trouble and he won't be able to save him and get himself out.
Yeah.
Like he's always been like kind of like the bigger brother to Pippin. He's always been able to bail him out of trouble.
Yeah.
And now he's worried that he won't be able to do that. Little heartfelt scene, right? Merry and Pippin, they got a lot of character development last movie.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see a little bit more of that right now.
Yeah, it's nice to know that they weren't just put in place to be comedic relief, because they do have that effect quite often, but
they started out as comedic relief, but they evolved as characters.
Yeah, so now we get to actually like experience them as a whole, as opposed to, oh, okay, dipshit's gonna do something, it's gonna be funny, everyone's gonna laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to have these moments of actually like watching them build as people.
Yeah.
Or hobbits.
After we leave that scene, we go to Arwen. And Arwen, finally convinced by Elrond to leave the people, leave Middle-earth, and go with the remaining elves to the Grey Havens and leave for basically the elven afterlife. I forget what it's called, but
yeah.
Goddamn, what is that fucking called? The land across the sea where the elves go to like live forever in paradise. I can't remember what it's called, but basically elven heaven. And Arwen looks into like some brush nearby and she has the power of foresight. Obviously her being not as powerful as Elrond, she can only see partial images of the future, but she sees a version of the future very briefly in which her son is alive and Aragorn is an old man. They're living in Minas Tirith and she sees a version of her life where she's happy with a family and it's breaking her heart and she's like, fuck, man. And this is eventually way too much for her. The fucking one of like the guards comes by and says, Lady Arwen, we cannot delay. And Arwen beelines it, puts the horse in reverse, beep, beep, beep. The backup alarm is going off.
Yep.
But she does a 180 and starts hauling ass back towards Rivendell. And I understand this from her characters, like, she only did what her father wanted.
Yeah.
But when she sees it with her own eyes, that there's a small glimmer of hope that she can have a life with Aragorn, she's got to take it.
Yeah.
And She goes back to Rivendell, and obviously Elrond is there, which why wouldn't Elrond leave with the rest of his people?
Maybe it's that he felt like he had, I don't know, some sort of responsibility to watch over what little they had left.
Oh, maybe it's because he feels guilty about the ring
It could be.
because he had a chance to destroy it. And maybe he's not leaving to go to the Grey Havens and go to Elven Heaven because he feels like he hasn't earned it because he caused this.
Yeah.
In his eyes, he caused this. And he doesn't deserve to go to Elven Heaven. So he's like kind of waiting to die.
Yeah.
That's just my own theory.
I mean, honestly, that theory would make sense, and it would hold up pretty well, in my opinion. Like, he doesn't, yeah, like you said, he feels a great deal of responsibility. So
Yeah.
it very well could just be that he wanted everyone else to be able to continue on, but he didn't want to keep living on with that guilt, knowing that all of these lives that have perished, all the elves that went to go help out at Helm's Deep they were on his hands, is how he's gonna kind of view it.
So Arwen is pleading with Elrond, saying, "There is hope. You saw my child. You saw I had a son." And he's like, "That future is almost gone." So he acknowledges that he saw the same future. But that future is almost gone, but it is not lost, Arwen says.
Yeah.
It is time. Remake the sword. And if I leave now, I will regret it forever. It is time. And Arwen goes into like this big speech of like, she recites the poem, and I can't remember it verbatim. Actually, I'm just going to read it right here. It's on the subtitles.
From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadow shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king.
But she's like, reforge the sword of Narsil, which is like an heirloom. It's honestly like a second crown, like a right of kinship.
Yeah.
Like King Arthur and the Sword in the Stone, right? If you get that sword, you fucking have the right to be king.
Exactly.
But the sword is there in Rivendell. It's shattered in pieces. But Arwen is pleading with Elrond, like, remake the sword and give Aragorn the small chance of hope he can to unite what's left of the human kingdoms.
Yeah.
And fight back.
Because like with him having Narsil and being able to, essentially retake his throne, the chances of humanity and all the other races surviving this fight with Sauron that's coming up, or at least his forces, the chances of them surviving are higher, like much greater if they're all united, as opposed to small fight here, small fight there kind of a thing.
Yeah. So there's a small montage. Elrond does submit and accepts the responsibility. He says he will reforge the sword. Well, he doesn't say it, but there's a small montage of the elven smiths, repairing the forge and repairing the sword. Obviously, elves being highly skilled craftsmen, they can repair a sword of this kind of steel and this kind of quality.
Yeah.
Like no other race in Middle Earth, I don't think is capable of remaking a sword of this quality.
I don't think so.
So after that, we go back to Gandalf and Pippin, and he's like, "We just passed into the realm of Gondor." They go over a crest, and this is finally where we can see Minas Tirith in all of its glory.
Yeah.
We did get to see a small snippet of it in the Fellowship of the Ring. Very small snippet.
Oh, yeah, in that extended scene, right?
It's like a scene where Gandalf is going to go find scrolls and shit to find out more about the ring. But we only get to see like a small section of like the wall.
Yeah.
But now we get to see the whole fucking thing. And I love this fucking city. As you can tell, I have a miniature of it right behind you.
Yep.
Can you show that to the audience, please? Careful. Yeah, it's like 2 pieces. Yeah, I fucking love this city, man. It's so well designed, so fucking like, it's just beautifully crafted, man. Everything makes sense logistically.
Yeah.
It's a piece of art as much as it is like a fucking structural achievement, right?
Yeah, it's really fucking interesting to just how well whoever it was that designed this miniature, like they actually managed to capture a good amount of fucking detail in it.
Yeah, obviously being a work of J.R.R. Tolkien, an adaptation of it. If you look online of different illustrations, there's different depictions of Minas Tirith, right? Obviously, the book has descriptions of it, each wall housing a gate, and then it goes up in different ring tiers. But I believe Peter Jackson, whomever was in charge of like the art department or the creation of Minas Tirith, bringing it to the screen, can I just fucking kiss you on the fucking mouth, dude? Like, oh, you did such a good job. And I love fantasy cities, man. I love fortresses. I love castles. And this, holy fuck, I love just how aesthetically pleasing it is to look at. I just want to fucking that gate down there. I want to stick my dick in it and just raw dog Minas Tirith,
now that you say that, it does kind of remind me of my ex just a little bit.
Anyway, I'm done stroking Minas Tirith's cock. But anyway, I love the city. I love how it looks. But Gandalf and Pippin, they're riding through the streets of Minas Tirith, and Minas Tirith is a city of men, but it's a city of men that have kind of fallen out of glory.
Yeah.
Their glory days are far behind them, back when they were part of Numenor, which is like a race of high men that lived long lives, but now men have kind of fallen into despair. I want to be so high, dude, as Numenorian. Fucking,
yeah, I'm like the most Numenorian of the Numenorians, all right?
Hate you. Your tism is showing, Hunter. But even though Gondor is kind of like falling into despair and like falling out of, glory and like proudness or honor, whatever kind of word you want to use, their glory days are behind them. It still looks beautiful. Their soldiers are wearing heavy plate armor, and it's all engraved with fucking very beautiful details. Like, even if at their lowest point, they're still a proud fucking nation.
Yeah.
Like, and I love Gondor. If you didn't tell, I have a fucking tattoo of the tree of Gondor on my fucking arm. That's how much I love this fucking faction.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but I actually have I have a tattoo of the One Ring. It's around my asshole.
Oh, beautiful. So when someone sticks their dick in you, it just goes invisible?
It disappears.
Literally. But they get to the very top, right? And Gandalf says something fucking hilarious. He's like, we need to talk to Denethor. Don't mention anything about his son, Boromir. Don't mention anything about Aragorn either, or the ring. In fact, Pippin, it's better if you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Another comedic scene, which Pippin doesn't shut the fuck up. Another time where somebody does the complete opposite of what they're told and tries to sabotage things.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm willing to bet him and Frodo meet every fucking Thursday and come up with plans on how best to sabotage shit.
Yeah, like, okay, now that everybody else is asleep, what do you want to do?
Yeah. How can I be a pain in the ass this episode?
Yeah.
But they're walking down the hall, and there's some really great visual storytelling here, man. Denethor, obviously not being a king, being only a steward of Gondor.
Yeah.
He's sitting at the base of the stairs. There's a huge staircase that goes up to where the throne of the would-be king would be sitting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of visual storytelling that, like, he's just kind of like a placeholder, a puppet king,
Yeah.
But he's sitting on his throne, and he's holding the remnants of his son's horn, the horn of Gondor, like, burr, burr, burr. And obviously he now knows that his son Boromir died on the quest coming out of Rivendell.
Yeah.
His body washed up on shore, and I'm assuming some scouts of, oh wait, no, Faramir found him.
Oh, right.
It was in an extended scene.
Yeah.
Faramir fucking found him.
Yep. I remember now.
But Gandalf is like, we've come to great tidings in this dark hour, and with counsel. Perhaps you would like to tell me why my son is dead. And Pippin, of course, he's like, Boromir died to save us. He saved us from many foes. Pippin, I give you my service, oh great king. He's like, he not even met him for 1 minute. He's like swearing fealty to the fucking. Yep. Oh my god, this is cringe. I hate it so much.
Like, as soon as he's given an opportunity, he's just fucking dropping down like.
Jesus, I hate you. But I love this. This is funny. Gandalf walks up to him. He's like, get up, and then fucking hits him with his staff. And Gandalf is like, my lord, there will be a time to grieve for Boromir, but it is not now.
Yeah.
And then instantly he starts drilling into Denethor. As steward, you are charged in defense of the city. Where are Gondor's armies? The enemy is right at your doorstep.
Yep.
What the fuck have you been doing with your life?
Yeah.
He's like, what have you been doing with your presidential term?
What have you been doing, Mr. Biden?
Yeah, you've just been sitting here waiting it out until fucking election season comes.
Yeah, fucking Joe Denethor over here.
Joe. But fucking Denethor is like, you think you are wise, Mithrandir, but for all of your words you have not wisdom. And Denethor, we've talked about this in the past. He might not have always been a bad guy, but he, like Saruman, has a Palantir.
Yeah.
And through that Palantir, Sauron has fed him images of doubt and destruction and despair.
Yep.
And this has caused him to like just basically have a pessimistic approach. Like, dude, our country's fucked. I can only hold off Sauron for so long. I've seen it. We eventually lose.
Yeah.
So why should I give a shit?
Yeah. Why should I even try? Like, we're not going to be able to fight him off.
Yeah. And also, I think there's a little bit of influence from Sauron, like making him feel guilty about his wife's death. And that's why he treats Faramir so much like shit too.
Yeah.
It's because I believe Faramir's mom died during his childbirth.
Yeah.
So there's that going there too. Sauron's manipulating and exploiting that as well.
Yeah, he's just trying to influence them however we can just to keep that side of humanity weak.
Yeah. So Denethor finally gets pissed off. He's like, the rule of Gondor is mine and no others. Richard Nixon.
am not a crook.
I am not a Richard Nixon. But Pippin and Gandalf leave. They go outside. Oh man, fuck. I love the look of the fountain guards, man.
I know, dude. They look so fucking cool.
I wish we got to see them more often. Those fucking costumes with the fucking feathers coming out the sides.
Yeah.
God, it looks so good. But they're walking past the tree, which is the dead tree that they saw. And Hunter, do you know like the story behind this tree?
I don't actually.
So Isildur planted this tree, if I'm not mistaken. And
shit.
There was one here, and there was one also in Minas Morgul, which is the big green city that we see fucking Frodo and Sam walk past in closer to Mordor. That was also a Gondorian city at one point too. But
Gotcha.
it was taken over by orcs. But there were two trees in both of these cities, and they were taken from a sapling from Numenor, I believe, which is the homeland of the Numenorians, right? The little island nation. And he planted this seed of the tree here at Minas Tirith. And as it grew, it kind of became a symbol of the people of Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
But eventually it died and everything, but it still remained as a symbol. That's why they have like the pool of water right here and shit. But it's kind of like a sign that if that tree were to bloom again, the king would return.
Yeah.
But they go past the tree and they go to the fucking like, I can't really describe it. Can you grab the fucking city again?
A fucking arm.
Like the very tip. They go to the Minas Tirith tip.
Like right up here?
No, not that tip. Like the very end of the fucking like the wedge. Yeah, right there. They go to the very end of that part. And they're just talking, and you can stop touching the tip now.
Dude, I can't help it.
No, not the tower. But this is an extended scene. Gandalf is talking about how the decline of Gondor kind of started, right? Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
That's not the easiest thing to do.
Oh my God.
My arm doesn't go back that far.
Gandalf is talking about how the decline of Gondor started and how after Isildur, basically a line of stewards took place and lesser kings, and the kingdom just kind of fell into ruin, and now there's no real bloodline king left.
Yeah.
And it's basically a kingdom on autopilot right now. It's a kingdom that fell into ruin because of the decisions of lesser men.
Yeah.
And Gandalf, he looks across the valley and you can see Mordor right there, man.
Yeah.
It's so intimidating. He's talking about how the orcs have no love for daylight and that the fucking clouds that Mordor is producing, that as they get closer, like that's when the fucking war is going to happen. Once those clouds hit you,
it's
game on, brother.
Yeah, because then they're going to be able to fucking come at you.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, they don't like daylight. Like they can't be out during the day. Unlike,
Daylight.
I fucking hate you.
I wake. I can't remember the lyrics. Daylight.
Just repeat daylight over and over.
Daylight. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I love this quote from Pippin. He's like, "Oh, Minas Tirith," because he can see the clouds in the distance. Minas Tirith. Well, that was fun. Can we get the fuck out of here now? And Gandalf was like, "Where are you going? There is no leaving now that we are here. Help must come to us." And now we go back to Frodo, Sam, and Gollum. We haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
And this is where they're exploring and trying to find their way to Shelob's lair, I believe. I can't remember exactly where they are, like geographically on the map, but this is also an extended scene, right? They just had the fight with, was that last section where Gollum was talking about killing them? They had the big fight and brawl, and fucking Frodo took Gollum's side again.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So this is the aftermath of that. And Sam is really trying to help Frodo keep his hope, right? This is an extended scene. He's talking about how we'll just be like Mr. Bilbo. We'll come back from this. You'll see.
Yeah.
And he's trying to give, Frodo hope that we will come back from this alive. Frodo is already like, dude, we're going to die on this.
Yeah, dude, we're fucked, man.
And
we got nothing.
They go past a little statue, and this is obviously Mordor territory, right? Everything north of the bank from Osgiliath is orc territory. So there's a lot of old Gondorian ruins and shit. And they find a statue of an old Gondorian king, and the head has just been fucking knocked out of place.
Yep.
And there's like there's a boulder with fucking like metal like spikes coming out of it and shit.
Yeah, it's interesting and very like ominous.
I think the orcs are just kind of like gloating and making fun, like, haha, you don't have a king, fuckers.
Yeah.
But there's sunlight that shines on the nearby head, and Sam was like, hey, look, Mr. Frodo, the king has a crown again. And all the flowers bloom and everything. I can understand why this scene was cut out. It really doesn't add anything, but...
No, I mean, it has like some appeasing visual effects to it, as far as like being able to see some of the ruins and shit, but yeah, like story-wise, it doesn't really add any content.
Yeah, that's one scene where I'm like, all right, that could be cut.
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything of significance or value. But we go back to Pippin and Gandalf. Pippin, being the dip fuck that he is, already swore his fucking life to a random fucking nobleman of Gondor.
Yep.
So yeah, now he gets a uniform and a sword, and he's like, all right, you just signed your life away, fucker.
Yep.
Put on this uniform. You're going to be here forever. Welcome to McDonald's. Here's your uniform. But Gandalf is talking, and he's like, it's so quiet. It's the deep breath before the plunge. And Pippin starts talking about how I've never been in a battle before, but waiting on the edge of one that I can't escape is even worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget that this is a hobbit, dude. These little creatures aren't used to warfare. No,
like they're used to a very peaceful, very quiet life, and these little hobbits have been on quite the journey.
Yeah.
They've seen so much shit that no one else from the Shire would believe except Bilbo, and that's just because Bilbo's lived it.
So they've been on a journey, and can you say they eventually went their separate ways? Someday love will find you. God damn it. But Gandalf is talking with Pippin. He's like, Pippin's asking, is there any hope, Gandalf, for Frodo and Sam? There never was much hope. Oh, wait, I gotta be optimistic. Just a fool's hope, you know? And Gandalf is just talking about all the different fucking armies that will come to Sauron's aid. Not only all orcs, but men as well. Wicked men from Haradrim, wicked men from the Corsairs of Umbar, the pirates, the fucking you got the fucking Corsairs of Umbar. You have the Haradrim, and what was the third faction? Son of a bitch.
The Persian looking fuckers.
Yeah, son of a fuck. I'm gonna.
I don't remember what the fuck they're called.
Haradrim and the. God damn it, it's gonna piss me off. Anyway, so lots of wild, men from the southern regions of south of Gondor are gonna come to Sauron's aid.
Yeah.
And Gandalf is terrified, right? He's like, Sauron has yet to reveal his deadliest servant, the one they say no living man can kill.
Yeah.
The Witch King of Angmar. And dude, the whole suiting up scene of the Witch King putting on the scale gloves and the fucking helmet. This was so sick to watch as a kid.
It looks fucking good, man. And like you just feel a sense of fucking power coming from him.
That helmet is so fucking cool. I actually think I have the helmet.
Hold
on.
Hodor! Hodor!
I have everything.
Give him a minute, folks. He's coming right back.
Yes. I will not apologize for who I am. So, this fucking helmet or mask. You can see my fucking face through. I thought it would be more fucking not transparent. But I should just do the podcast like this. I wonder if the fucking audio can hear me okay. I think it can. This is just...
Oh, yeah. It's going through just fine.
All right.
So yeah, no, this is Fantasy Friday with Hunter and the Bitch King.
Hunter and the Bitch King. Oh, my God. But, yeah, so this is
ridiculous.
This is the Witch King's helmet. If I can fucking unfuck this a little bit. There we go. This is a professional podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
But it looks way cooler than this because this is flimsy fucking material. But it's a metal scale fucking helmet with like scale ass gloves and shit.
Yeah.
He looks so intimidating.
He looks menacing as fuck.
Like, it's such a cool fucking design and I love it so much.
Yeah. Like, they did a really good job when it came to like just making him feel like, a presence, if that makes sense. Like you see him and you instantly just know, like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't fuck with him.
Yeah, it's such a cool design for a fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Gandalf stops talking about the fucking Witch King of Angmar, and we go back to Frodo and... I can't do that. I can't. It's actually kind of hard to breathe. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we go back to Frodo and Sam and Gollum, and this is where we find Minas Morgul.
Yeah.
Which back in the day, when men still controlled this city, it was called Minas Ithil. A little bit of nerd lore for you. I know that's
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they were twin cities or sister cities or whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
But now obviously it's been controlled by orcs for some time. And this is where the floodgates open, man. Like, they see the stairs and they start climbing up on them. Oh, wait, no, this is another... God damn, I forgot about this. It's another fucking time Frodo tries to sabotage the fucking party.
Yep.
God damn it, I thought we were over with this shit.
No, Frodo's fucking stupid.
God.
Like, he's one of the worst characters, if not the worst character in all of Lord of the Rings. Like, he's constantly trying to fuck up their entire objective here.
It's like, oh, there's an open engine right here. Might as well throw a wrench into it.
Yep.
And fucking, he instantly starts trying to walk towards Minas Morgul.
Yeah.
And I get it, right? I'm not stupid. I know the ring has control over him and shit. But he's supposed to, like, be a hobbit. He's supposed to have a lot more control and resistance over this. I guess what I'm trying to say is Frodo never takes accountability for his actions when he fucks up like this.
Yeah.
And he always blames it on Sam. That part pisses me off.
Yeah, he constantly treats Sam like shit. Like, he's not the one that made the choice to go walk over there. He's not the one that tried to fucking sabotage them time and time again. But Sam just gets fucking the fuck beaten out of him.
Yeah. So Minas Morgul, the big ass green laser beam comes out from the fucking city.
Yeah, he turned fucking Middle Earth into the Death Star, so they're fucking shooting the beam up.
We are cleared for final approach. Boom, boom, boom. What is it? Detonation in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The Death Star is now in range. The Death Star is now in range. I haven't seen fucking that movie in a while. I can't remember what they say. Anyway, So the big ass light comes from Minas Morgul, right? And it shoots up in the sky. It's so bright that the people from Minas Tirith can see it all the way across the fucking valley.
Yeah.
And it fills the soldiers with fear. They see it, they're like, oh fuck, they're coming.
Yeah.
And the Witch King riding on his fell beast, the fucking fell beast roars, and then the floodgates open, man. And I love this. The orcs look so intimidating in this.
Yeah.
Like, and this is why I love practical effects so much. Let me put it this way. When I saw this scene, I was actually scared of some of these fucking orcs. They look beefy and like fucking brutish as fuck. The orcs in The Hobbit, they look cartoonish.
Yeah.
I'm more terrified of these guys in full cosmetics and full makeup and everything. Like that guy right there. That guy's gonna fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he's gonna fucking eat your booty raw and not even fucking give you a reach around. Like, you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
The orcs in the Hobbit series, they got nothing on these orcs right now.
Dude, the cosmetics that they did for these movies are so fucking good. They're better than most fucking films, to be honest.
We will never have a movie series like this again with this attention to detail and this craftsmanship, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, they're not going to put in that extra effort for practical effects, for cosmetics, for armor, for weapons, for makeup. They're just going to CGI the fuck out of it and save money.
Yeah. So, slight side tangent. It's like, if you've noticed with the newer Star Wars shows and movies that have come out, the combat with like the lightsabers is a lot slower because once Disney took over, instead of doing it the way they had been, where they color in the blades themselves, like afterwards, they use like the battery powered lightsabers, so they're heavier. They're like 5 times heavier than what we saw for like the prequels. So
it's supposed to give like a natural light on the actor's face, right? Of the lightsaber.
It's supposed to like help with effects, but because of how they're doing it, like it's actually affecting things. And honestly, I feel like it looks better with how they did it before anyway. Like even the shit from like the original movies to me is better than what Disney has been putting out.
That's actually a good interesting point that you brought up. That's an instance where, okay, I admit CGI had the upper hand in that specific scenario.
Yeah.
Very specific scenario. There's very few times where I think CGI comes ahead of practical effects. And that's one of them because, as you said, in shows like The Acolyte or shows like fucking, I don't know, Kenobi or whatever, the lightsabers, it seems like the actors are wielding a fucking greatsword. Like it has a huge weight to them when it should be weightless.
Exactly. So like there are times where it becomes more of a hindrance, but for the most part, as far as at least like the aesthetics of things, like, making the orcs and the Uruk-hai in this versus the white orc and shit that we saw in The Hobbit, like the practical effects are going to look better than doing it CGI, which I mean, the CGI, the new sabers that they use, they do look good, with the lighting and effects that they have,
but it's slow.
Yeah, it changes too much just to try to add that little bit of detail. So, you kind of got to like pick and choose what you do. And most of the time, nowadays movies and filmmakers, they don't make the right choice, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, well, I guess what we're just trying to say is there's times for CGI, right? There's times for practical effects. But when you just decide to say fuck it and go cheap and just replace everything with CGI,
yeah, it's going to look like garbage.
Immediately, you can see the weightlessness in it.
Yeah.
Like when I watch Lord of the Rings, I feel like I'm immersed. I'm so immersed in the fucking visuals of it. I feel like I can reach across the screen and touch that metal armor or touch that metal sword. When I watch The Hobbit, it looks weightless to me.
Yeah.
Like nothing has any weight to it or fucking substance. It's all fluffy. It's like, I don't know how to describe it,
Yeah, like, if you grab it, it's going to be like, it would feel like foam in your hand.
Yeah.
As opposed to like seeing the fucking sheen of the metal in this or...
You know what? It ruins the immersion a little bit. That's what I'm trying to say is the suspension of disbelief. There's something in your brain that says that's not real. And when that turns on, you're immediately sucked out of the story.
Yeah. So when you have something that looks real, that your brain registers that would feel real, like you're gonna get pulled into it and you're gonna stay there. As soon as you register something like, well, that doesn't look right. That doesn't seem like it would fit there.
Yeah.
That's when you're gonna be fucking.
Yeah. So anyway, let's stop talking and ranting about CGI. We do that a lot. But
Well, that's what podcasts are for. They're for talking.
yes. So we go back to Gandalf and fucking Pippin. Gandalf has a special task for Pippin. Gandalf knows, all right, we need the clock's ticking, motherfucker. The enemy is going to be coming across the lake anytime now.
Yeah.
We need to get help from somebody. We need to light the beacons of Gondor. But Denethor, being the pessimistic fuck that he is, already throwing the towel. He's not going to light the fucking beacons.
No.
So Gandalf is going to have Pippin light the beacons and try to get help from Rohan. And now we go to another scene with Faramir. We haven't seen much of Faramir lately.
Yeah.
And Faramir, I love this scene, man. This is another extended scene where Faramir is talking to his close lieutenant. And the atmosphere of Osgiliath during the nighttime, oh God, it's so good.
It's really good. And you could just feel like this heavy presence coming down on, like you can just feel evil, approaching them.
It reminds me a lot of trench warfare.
Yeah.
Like Osgiliath being a very strategic city. Like you can't get across. Like it's kind of like the Battle of Thermopylae, right? With the 300 Spartans. Fucking Gondor is holding this city. It's realistically the only way for massive amounts of troops to get across the valley and attack Minas Tirith. If they capture Osgiliath, they're done.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very much like trench warfare. The whole city's destroyed. There's a natural barrier of the river. It's like trench warfare mixed with D-Day.
Yeah.
But fucking the orcs are coming across the river, right? They're using the cover of darkness and the fog. And I love this. One of the fucking orc captains notices that one of his orcs paddling the boat is making too much noise. He's like, quiet. The men are on one side of the river and the orcs are in like fucking 30 or 40 boats. They're coming across the river and they're fucking, they get spotted by one of the Gondorian soldiers, like on lookout.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's going on over there? What's going on over there? And the Gondor soldier peeks out and the fucking orc captain is like, kill him. Yeah. The guy falls down the fucking stairs and Faramir realizes they're not coming from the north. And that's when the whole scene is like, to the river, quick.
Yeah.
And even though they know the enemy's coming, they just storm with overwhelming numbers.
Yeah. Like there's only so much you can do when they have the vast majority of, like, they outnumber you, like, say 3-1.
Yes. So the orcs are paddling. They're fucking getting closer and closer to the riverbank. And this is cool, man. Like, you get to see just like how many orcs there are. There's at least like fucking thousands of them.
Yeah.
And you got to think, like, maybe there's only 800 defenders. Even though they kind of have them in a bottleneck a little bit, just overwhelming numbers are just going to storm those fucking beaches.
Exactly. You can only hold them off for so long. Eventually, they're going to punch through. They're going to throw enough bodies to make it to where your forces get weak and tired to where they can finally be like, all right, that's it. Last bit of you, punch through the hole.
They start storming the fucking beaches and they can't hold them, right? And Faramir is like the first one. They're storming the beaches and he's like, fuck, 3, 2, 1, go. Kills one of the orcs. And they're doing fine for a little bit. They got a bottleneck, but eventually they start spreading out.
Yeah.
And the way these Gondor soldiers die is brutal, man.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's fucking intense. Especially because not only, do they have these overwhelming forces already,
yeah,
but they let them fucking stream through there first before, like, getting in the way.
Yeah.
So they're having to essentially fight a war on two fronts. They pulled a fucking Germany trying to defend this shit.
Yeah. So obviously, they're doing their best they can, but the fucking soldiers of Gondor, they're like young 20-something-year-old guys, they're fucking dying left and right, and it's sad to watch, especially later on as, like, they're losing the city too.
Yeah.
And that's how we did our little meme, Gondor does the dying and everything. But just, oh yeah, like you talked about, they're fighting a war on two fronts now.
Yeah.
They've attacked from the river, and now that they've got the enemies, the defenders' attention, now they're going to go across the north, where originally they thought they were.
Exactly. So, you're having to try to fight off these thousands of orcs that are coming from two different directions. Like, you're only going to be able to hold on for so long.
Yeah. Faramir, he's fighting a war of insurmountable odds, and Denethor expects the world from him. When it's a mathematical impossibility that you can hold a position like that with so few troops.
That just made me think of, did you ever watch the movie Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah.
So do you remember the part where the dude that he runs the club, the ones that the main characters were going to make a deal with, he's standing in a fucking, like a fucking boardroom or some shit, and his guard comes in, he's like, wait, did you just touch my ass? Sir, that would be a physical improbability. As soon as he said that, that's what popped into my head.
But this is going to be a good stopping point for us. I know it's kind of a weird point to stop, but we're already an hour into our episode. So we're going to leave it right there as the Battle of Osgiliath has kind of started, and Pippin is going to light the beacons. That's where we're going to end it off. So anyways, this has been Virtual Tavern, a podcast where we talk about all things sci-fi and fantasy. Join us next time where we see Pippin and lots of other cool shit. I don't know how to end this one. I'm just wearing the mask over here, just like trying to fucking...
You're too distracted.
I know. Anyway, my name is Adam Edgar.
I am Hunter Chambliss.
And we will catch you guys on the next Fantasy Friday. Ka-chow.
Bye!